So it is 7:33 p.m. on July 28th, 2026. Good evening. My name is Christian Klein. I'm the chair of the Arlington Zoning Board of Appeals, and I'm calling this meeting of the board to order. I would first like to confirm that all members and anticipated officials are present. From the Zoning Board of Appeals, we have Roger DuPont
Here.
and Patrick Hanlon
Here.
and Venkat Holly
Here.
and Adam LeBlanc
Here.
and our associate, Nick Rosenberg.
Here.
Good to have you all here. On behalf of the town, we have Colleen Ralston, our clerk and zoning assistant.
Here.
Good to have you. And then appearing for docket 3910, 44 Dow Avenue, the applicant, Gordon Brummer, is here.
Here.
Good to have you with us as well. So tonight's meeting of the Arlington Zoning Board of Appeals is being conducted remotely, consistent with the bill signed by Governor Healy on March 28th, 2025, which extended temporary provisions pertaining to the open meeting law to June 30th, 2027. The extension of these provisions allows public bodies to hold their meetings remotely by providing live, adequate alternative means of public access to the deliberations. This meeting is being recorded and will be broadcast by ACMi. Members of the public who are participating via Zoom and who wish to offer public comment should be aware that they will be asked to provide their full name and address so that a complete public record of the meeting can be taken in accordance with state law. All participants of this meeting are advised that people may be listening to the meeting without offering public comment, and those people are not required to identify themselves. Any votes that are taken this evening will be conducted by roll call vote. All supporting materials that have been provided to members of this body are available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. Public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda. As chair, I reserve the right to take items out of order in the interest of promoting an orderly meeting. As the board will be taking up new business at this meeting, as chair, I make the following land acknowledgement. Whereas the Zoning Board of Appeals for the town of Arlington, Massachusetts, discusses and arbitrates the use of land in Arlington, formerly known as Menotomy, an Algonquin word meaning swift waters, the board hereby acknowledges that the town of Arlington is located on the ancestral lands of the Massachusetts tribe, the tribe of indigenous peoples from whom the colony, province, and commonwealth have taken their names. We pay our respects to the ancestral bloodline of the Massachusetts tribe and their descendants who still inhabit historic Massachusetts territories today. So we will be starting this meeting this evening with our administrative items. These items relate to the operation of the board and as such will generally be conducted without input from the general public. Board will not take up any new business on any prior hearings, nor will there be the introduction of any new information on matters previously brought before the board.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Hanlon.
We're getting into an area that I have something to say about.
Do you want to say something at this point, or do you want to wait till we get to that item?
But my computer has completely lost it. And when I look at what is I don't, oh, wait a minute, there. I see. All right. One thing I would like the board members to check is whether or not the the final draft that they have is for the right hearing. Because when I just opened it myself, under the final, I got the previous hearing 3817, and I'm not sure that when I distributed it correctly. Meanwhile, I'll see if I can figure out how to get back online.
Let's see. Patrick Hanlon, 15 Janet Road. I have a decision marked final.
Yeah, both of them were finals, of course. So.
So when I open it up, I see 15 Janet Road in the Mount Gilboa neighborhood.
Do you see? Okay, so that is the wrong document. That is the wrong document.
Let me just...
3817 is the number of, I think, of what I sent, and it should be 3909, I think.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay.
And meanwhile, my computer is going crazy, and I can't even get to my, I can't even get to the drive where I can fix that. I'm going to have to probably leave the meeting and restart. So you might want to put this matter towards the end of the meeting.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, I see you now, but
Okay. Yeah, because I noticed now that the fourth um, condition appears to be different than what we had seen previously.
it should be because the document that you have is the one that was issued in 2024,
Oh, okay.
which has both the variance and the other special permit on it. And it's not the final draft of
Got it.
3809.
Ah, okay. Now that all makes sense. Okay.
I apologize about that. The titles, as you could just see, are so close together that I had no idea that I was sending the wrong thing. So let me try to get at least this part fixed, but I may not be able to hear very much of the hearing while I try to get this worked out.
Okay. Um, I, in that case, I'll continue with the other administrative items that we have before us. Um, so the first is the approval of the meeting minutes from our July 14th meeting. These are minutes that were prepared by Ms. Ralston, distributed to the board for questions and comments, final version posted back to the board in the last couple of days. Are there any additional questions or comments in regards to the minutes from July 14th? Seeing none, I will move that the Zoning Board of Appeals for the Town of Arlington approve the minutes from the July 14, 2026 meeting of the board.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Dupont. And then a roll call vote of members present at that meeting. Mr. Dupont,
Yes.
Mr. Hanlon,
Here. Yes.
Mr. Holly,
Yes.
Mr. LeBlanc,
Yes.
Mr. Rosenberg,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes. So the minutes are approved. It brings us to item uh, number two on our agenda, which we're going to pass for the moment. Number three on our agenda is the approval of the decision in docket 3905, 87 Grandview Road. Um, so this was a decision that was written by Adam and distributed to the board for questions and comments. Final version posted back to the board. Are there any additional questions or comments as they relate to that decision, which is 3905, 87 Grandview Road? Seeing none, I will move that the Zoning Board of Appeals for the Town of Arlington approve the written decision in docket 3905, 87 Grandview Road, which grants a special permit for a large addition under sections 542B6 and 333 in the zoning bylaw.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Dupont. So roll call vote to approve the decision in 87 Grandview Road. Mr. Dupont,
Yes.
Mr. Hanlon,
Yes.
Mr. Holly,
Yes.
Mr. LeBlanc,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes. That decision is approved. Brings us to the next item on our agenda, number 4, which is a member vote to authorize the chair to sign decisions on behalf of the board. So this is a practice we've been doing for the last several years, where we don't have to chase each of you to individually sign the decision. I can just sign on behalf of the board with the board's approval. So I would propose the following motion that the members of the Zoning Board of Appeals of the Town of Arlington do hereby authorize the duly elected chair of the board to sign decisions on behalf of all the members. This authority shall expire at the end of their service as chair.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Dupont. And do I have second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. LeBlanc. So with that, a roll call vote of the board in favor of the motion. Mr. Dupont,
Yes.
Mr. Hanlon,
Yes.
Mr. Holly,
Yes.
Mr. LeBlanc,
Yes.
Mr. Rosenberg,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes. That is approved. Mr. Hanlon, do you want us to continue on to the public hearings?
Yeah, I will. Yes, I think that we should do that. I can listen
Okay.
in, and I've got the right page, so I ought to be able to find it unless I've accidentally I should be okay.
Okay.
I hope.
So then we will be moving on to public hearings. Before opening tonight's meeting for public hearings, here's some ground rules for the clear and effective conduct of tonight's business. After I announce each agenda item, I will ask the applicant to introduce themselves or themselves and make their presentation to the board. I will then request that the members of the board ask what questions they have on the proposal, and after the board's questions have been answered, I will open the meeting for public comment. At the conclusion of public comment, the board will deliberate and vote to either continue or close the public hearing. All votes will be conducted by roll call vote. The final vote on any matter before the board will be taken at a subsequent meeting once the written decision has been drafted and provided to the board. After the decision has been adopted and signed, the decision will be filed with the town clerk, starting the 20-day appeal period under state law. After that time, the applicant may proceed with their building permit. However, under state law, no decision granted by this board shall take effect until a certified copy of the final decision has been filed with and recorded at the Middlesex South Registry of Deeds in Cambridge by the applicant. So with that, move on to item 5 on our agenda, which is docket 3910 44 Dow Avenue. I can ask the applicant to go ahead and introduce themselves and tell us what they are proposing to do.
Hello,
Good
I'm
evening.
Gordon Brummer, 44 Dow Avenue, the applicant. And what we'd like to do is we have a porch, small porch in front of our house that's currently uncovered. And we'd like to just kind of build a covering on that porch to prevent water from getting on our mail and packages, as well as preventing the sunlight from like heating up the door. We've got 2 young kids, and in the afternoon it can get pretty hot because there's no shade.
Okay. Thank you for that. I will go ahead and share what I have in front of me. So this is the site plan. This is a little bit of an unusual site. So this is the corner of Dow Avenue and Renfrew Street. It is listed as a paper street because the street was never constructed. However, when the original subdivision was done, the town accepted the street. So technically, Renfrew is a street, and therefore this is actually a corner lot with 2 front yards, which really doesn't have any bearing on this hearing, but I thought was rather interesting to note. So this is the plans that were provided to the board. So the existing house is single story with, on the front, you can see 2 gable dormers, and they are now going to be connected with a shed dormer. And then there is, but that is not a part of our hearing because that can be done by right. On the rear, they're also adding this window, but that is also not before the board. What's before us is a covering over this porch, which we have really no information on. Colleen, did we receive any new information from the builder?
There should have been a new upload last Thursday.
Okay.
I'm not. Is that the one you're looking at?
My OpenGov is spinning.
Oh,
As it
sounds like
has
today.
as it has been for like the last 15 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I've been spinning on that one too for about 20 minutes.
Mr. Chair, I see the one that was uploaded on the 22nd of July, but it's the same version as we're seeing here on your screen.
Oh, okay. Are there any additional, are you in OpenGov?
I am.
Or did you download it?
And I downloaded the most recent one that's on there from the 22nd, and it's the same version as what we're looking at. It's the same.
Yeah.
There's no information about the covering.
Okay. Because I would turn to the applicant. Do you know anything about what is intended for the covering over the front steps?
So what I can tell you is, I think if you flip back to a couple pages ago, maybe the first one you showed with the plot plan.
With the plot plan, yeah.
That red line I believe, is kind of, I mean, that's where we wanted to put it. So it's going to just extend kind of like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'd be just be covering that porch, and I believe it's because of that corner, it doesn't kind of fall under the category of something we can just do.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So the mudroom, there's a mudroom basically on the front of the house now, and that's staying. And then this would be over the top step, and it would not extend beyond the edges of the top step.
That's correct. Yeah.
And do you know at all what it's supposed to look like?
If you flip to the front view,
Yeah.
it's going to be kind of that that steeple in front of on top of the door. Yeah, just
Okay.
that pulled out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on the edge of the landing, we'll have posts and we'll see this open gable. And then on the sides, it will just be open.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's like you're just kind of pulling that roof line out
Okay.
to cover the porch.
Got it. So it'll be detailed the same as the existing front of the house. It'll align with the same roof pitches. It will just basically extrude out
Yes.
the roof and two posts catching it on the end.
Yep.
Okay. I think that is clear. I'm going to go ahead and stop the share. So this is something that the board often sees. This is coming to us under 539D, whereby covering of steps or a landing that are within the front yard setback requires a special permit from the Zoning Board of Appeals. Are there any questions from members of the board in regards to this application?
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Dupont.
So I'm not sure to what extent it really matters, but in looking at the application, there are the dimensional requirements or the description of the the setbacks. And in the front yard, proposed as well as existing, it says the front yard depth is 21.1 feet. And I was looking at the plan, and it seems to be different than that on the plan, if I'm not mistaken. So it looks like it's 26.8 from that one corner, and then on an angle, 23.4.
Mm-hmm.
So I just didn't know if in the application it says 21.1, if there's something that we need to know about that in particular. What's the discrepancy?
Okay. So my understanding of the 21.1 is it doesn't appear on this drawing, but it is the dimension from the front of the mudroom to the front yard's property line. So it's effectively the 17.7 plus 3.5, but on a little bit of an angle, so you'll lose a tenth.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't anything of significance that was tucked away.
No. Oh. The contractor is now available. Mr. Carriero. Mr. Carriero, are you with us?
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
So, Mr. Brummer gave us a walkthrough of the proposal. Did you submit any side elevations or anything like that for this plan?
We did.
You did. Okay. Been having some trouble with the town website tonight.
Yeah, I got an email from The town saying that they did, yeah, there's some issues going on.
Yeah. All right, but as it has been described by the applicant, basically, let me go ahead. I will share this again.
Wednesday on the eye, tracking heavy downpours on the risk of more people. How to protect your digital wallet from scammers. See you at 4:30.
So at the front, so basically the intent is to take the gable, align it with the existing gable that's over the front entryway, extend that forward 3.5 feet. It will remain an open front gable, and then it will have posts on either side. Is that correct?
We actually using brackets.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah. Yes, Mr.
Mr.
Rosenberg.
Chair, sorry, I don't know if it's helpful, but I just noticed that when I go to OpenGov and I go to the supporting documentation and drawings,
Yeah.
version 1, which was filed July 2nd, appears to have a rendering with the brackets and the overhang extended, whereas version 2, which is I think the one you have, does not. So if we look at the earlier one, that might be where we find what we're
Now, let me
talking
go
about.
ahead and stop sharing. Do you mind sharing that? I am not having luck with the town website and accessing that.
While we're waiting, I wanted to tell everybody that I have sent to all of us the correct version of the 15 Janet Road opinion.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
There it is. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. And is there any change to the front elevation, or is it the same as before?
So this is the change here.
Yeah.
Just a little overhang. Yeah.
Okay.
3 feet 3.5 feet. Yeah.
Got it.
Just to give them some protection over the front door.
And as shown on the plan, it doesn't extend. Does it extend beyond the boundary of the current landing?
No. So
Okay.
I kicked it back a little bit to keep within the 25 square foot rule.
Yep.
But then that's when we realized that it's beyond the setbacks, and that's where the special permit is required. But that's why we wanted to do columns at first, but then the columns would have put it at 4 feet. So
okay.
I kicked it back to 3.5 and we ended up using the brackets.
Okay. Got it. All right. Are there any further questions from the board? Seeing none. I will now be opening the meeting for public comment. Public questions and comments will be taken as they relate to the matter at hand, should be directed to the board for the purpose of informing its decision. I don't think we have any members of the public with us this evening. But if there is someone from the public who I am missing, please go ahead and you can raise your hand using the button on the React tab or dial *9 if you're calling in by phone. But I see no one, so I will go ahead and close the public comment period. So the public comment period is now closed. The board will discuss findings and vote to close the hearing or recommend a continuance. So what we have before us, as being shown, is an application under section 539D of the zoning bylaw. Excuse me, where the applicant is requesting to put a cover over the front porch of their, not over the front porch, excuse me, over the front steps to their existing house. This is something that the board can approve by special permit. There are no special criteria for this section of the bylaw. It just is a required findings under section 333. The general finding is that the adverse effects of the proposed use will not outweigh its beneficial impacts. We get to there by the following 7 tests. The first is the required use is allowed or allowed by special permit in the district. As we noted, it's allowed under 539D. Requested use is essential or desirable to public convenience and welfare. It's convenient to the public because it does provide shelter to the occupants as they are entering their home. It also creates a more welcoming front to the home for the neighborhood, and is something that is very commonly seen in this neighborhood and also other places in town. Will not create undue traffic congestion or impair pedestrian safety. Will have no impact on either. It's not near the street, not near the sidewalk, and is completely open. The requested use will not overload any public system. It will not impact any of the public systems. Will not create any additional impervious area, and will not. We'll just use a tiny bit of electricity, but that's probably already there with lights anyways. There were special regulations for the requested use are fulfilled. There are no special regulations. Requested use will not impair the character or integrity of the district. This is a very common feature we see in Arlington. And in most cases, they do appear to be within the front yard setback, so this certainly is not impairing the character or the integrity. It will requested use will not be detrimental to public health or welfare. Will have no general impact on the public health and welfare of the neighborhood or the town, and the requested use will not cause an excess of use detrimental to the neighborhood. This is a single-family home. It will remain a single-family home. It will not be causing any kind of excess of use. And so with those, I think the board can find that the adverse effects of the proposed use will not outweigh the beneficial impacts to both the resident and to the community in general. Are there any questions from the board in regards to those proposed findings? Seeing none, the board would typically provide 3 standard conditions to any application. The first is the plans and specifications approved by the board for the special permit shall be the final plans and specifications submitted to the building inspector of the town of Arlington in connection with this application for zoning relief. There should be no deviation during construction from approved plans and specifications without the express written approval of the Arlington Zoning Board of Appeals. The second is the building inspector is hereby notified they are to monitor the site and should proceed with appropriate enforcement procedures at any time they determine that violations are present. The building inspector shall proceed under Section 3.1 of the zoning bylaw and under the provisions of Chapter 40, Section 21D of the Massachusetts General Laws and institute non-criminal complaints. If necessary, the building inspector may also approve and institute appropriate criminal action, also in accordance with Section 3.1. And the third is that the board shall maintain continuing jurisdiction with respect to the special permit grant. Should the board find in favor of this application, are there any additional conditions that members of the board feel would be appropriate? Seeing none, I would ask Mr. Hanlon if he would be willing to direct the drafting of a decision in favor of approval.
I would be happy to do that, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Hanlon. There being nothing further, I will move that the Zoning Board of Appeals for the town of Arlington close the public hearing for docket 3910 44 Dow Avenue.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Hanlon. So the vote the board will be taking, this is to close this public hearing for 44 Dow Avenue. Once the meeting is closed, the board cannot take any new testimony, but the board will prepare a written decision, and that decision will be voted on at our next hearing, which is Tuesday, August 11th. So with that, roll call vote of the board to close this public hearing. Mr. DuPont. Mr. Hanlon?
Here. Oops, not here. Not here. Yes.
Mr. Holly?
Yes.
Mr. LeBlanc?
Yes.
Mr. Rosenberg?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. We are closed on 44 Dow Avenue. Thank you to the applicant and the contractor for being with us this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right.
So with that, I will return to our administrative items, and specifically This will be item number 2 on our agenda, which is the approval of the written decision in docket 390815 Janet Road. So this is a
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night,
Good
Mr.
night,
Carrero.
Thank you.
So this is a decision that was drafted by Mr. Hanlon, distributed to the board for questions and comments, and a final version just posted a few minutes ago to the board. Were there any additional comments or questions in regards to that written decision, which is docket 3908, 15 Janet Road?
Okay, Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Hanlon.
The version, the absolute final version, it was distributed at 7:44 p.m. A few minutes ago. It has the title after 390815 Janet Road. It has in the parenthesis projection into minimum yards. So that helps distinguish it from its predecessor that unfortunately I gave you before. The version that I just sent, or I sent 20 minutes ago, which again, you should all have in your town email. And if necessary, I think Colleen could probably share the document because she's copied on that as well. It is different from the draft that I sent to you earlier, because if you may remember, I had agreed to talk to town council about what to do about the fact that after we issue the special permit, there'll be 2 special permits that are in effective here. One of them is the one that we're proposing to grant tonight. The other one is the other special permit is the one that was issued in 2024, and that will lapse if it's not used by October 2027, but it's still in effect. And the question was what to do with that. And unfortunately, Mr. Baranowski is not here with his suggestion that we just make it go poof. So we had to figure out a more prosaic way of dealing with it. In the earlier document, I had put in a paragraph 17 explaining the situation and a condition number 5 that attempted to make as a condition of getting a building permit, providing evidence to the board or to the building inspector that the old permit should be abandoned. After that conversation with council and on further reconsideration, I concluded that there is no real effective and tried and true way of dealing with the situation. What we might have done earlier is make this an amendment of the old permit, but we didn't do that. We didn't advertise it that way. We didn't have a hearing on that, so that it's not really a practical way of dealing with it now. And that the more straightforward thing to do and thing which is perfectly legal, even if it seems awkward, is to let the 2 permits continue to exist side by side. Eventually, the one that isn't built will presumably the old permit will automatically lapse, and for all I know, may very well automatically lapse when the applicant takes inconsistent action by relying on the one that he would get today. So at the end of the day, the idea is that there's nothing wrong legally about having 2 special permits that deal with the same subject matter. And the right way to proceed here is not to try to terminate the old one and replace it with the new, but just let them go on side by side until the old one lapses. And that is the only really significant change in the document that I sent you, is that I explained what I just said more succinctly in paragraph 17 of the document, and then I eliminated condition number 5.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Hanlon. Are there any additional questions or comments from the board as it relates to this written decision, which is docket 3908, 15 Janet Road? Seeing none, I move that the zoning board of appeals for the town of Arlington approve the written decision in docket 3908, 15 Janet Road, which grants a special permit for an enclosed entrance uh, uh, and covered landing under sections 539A, 539D, and 333 in the zoning bylaws.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Hanlon. The roll call vote of the board to approve, Mr. Dupont,
Yes.
Mr. Hanlon,
Yes.
Mr. Holly,
Yes.
Mr. LeBlanc,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes, that decision is approved. That then concludes the administrative items, and we've concluded the hearings. So this then moves us on to our open forum session. If there are members of the public who have issues to discuss with the board that are not related to a specific hearing, please raise your hand to be recognized. And I do not see anyone present for that. So we were scheduled for a training tonight after the meeting. Unfortunately, town council is not available as he had previously believed he would be, but will be joining us on the 11th. And he is preparing for us a memorandum about the changes. And we'll have an opportunity to review that ahead of when he comes for the training next time. So we'll have time to prepare some questions and be ready to ask for that.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Hanlon.
I've now forgotten, but I wonder do all of us have a copy of what the statutory changes were and maybe the explanatory memo that you got from the web?
I believe I circulated something. So now it's going to look, because it doesn't recognize me as it's not a person, so it will ignore it. But the MTC memo, I believe I sent that around to everybody. This is the advisory for Mead, Tellerman, and Costa. It basically points out there's 3 basic changes. One has to do with notification, one has to do with vested rights and how they're applied for special permits, and then the last is an overhaul of the variance section of the bylaw, the state law, which both affects the required vote to grant a variance and also allows for a use variance in all communities for residents. So these are things that the parameters are not well established yet. And so that is why we're going to be talking with council to get some guidance as to how we should be approaching this and applying this.
So since we have a couple of weeks, it might be helpful to also have the memorandum on the Michigan.
Sure.
That's from Michigan State.
Yep.
Which Michigan has something that part of the language is the same as the new language in the state statute here. And so they actually have judicial authority on how to interpret their memo, and that's just useful background.
And I think Virginia may have adopted something similar. I think I might have come across something there recently too. But so I'll make sure to forward that Michigan memo around so people have a chance to look at it.
Mr. Chairman, there's also a number of summaries that have been published.
Oh.
If you just Google,
a
number of law firms have put together 1.5-page summaries, which I thought were at least a good starting point. So
okay.
Yeah.
I encourage people to take a look at that as well.
Perfect.
So if we just browse in that area, it'll be a little easier to follow what Mike has to say and make Mike's job a little easier, I think.
Absolutely. All right, so our next meeting is scheduled for August 11th on Tuesday. I will be traveling, but I will still be able to host the meeting, so I will do that from Minneapolis. What is the caseload for August 11th?
We do not have any cases for the 11th. I still have the same 3 people almost done.
Okay.
So there'll probably be 3 on the 25th.
Okay. So the 11th will be a very short meeting followed by training. So that'll be good all around.
It means we don't have to wear ties.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So with that, and there being no further business, I will thank you all for your participation in tonight's meeting of the Arlington Zoning Board of Appeals. I appreciate everyone's patience throughout the meeting. I would especially like to thank Colleen Ralston and Mike Champa for their assistance in preparing for and hosting this online meeting. Please note the purpose of the board's recording the meeting is to ensure the creation of an accurate record of its proceedings. It is our understanding that the recording made by ACMi will be available on demand at acmi.tv within the coming days. Arlington Community Media is dedicated to providing an electronic forum for the free exchange of information and ideas which reflect the talent, skills, interests, concerns, and diversity of the Arlington community. Please visit acmi.tv to learn how to support this valuable public resource. If anyone has comments or recommendations, please send them via email to zba@town.arlington.ma.us. That email address is also listed on the Zoning Board of Appeals website. And to conclude tonight's meeting, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Hanlon. And a second. Thank you, Mr. DuPont. So roll call vote of the board to adjourn. Mr. DuPont.
Yes.
Mr. Hanlon.
Yes.
Mr. Holly.
Yes.
Mr. LeBlanc.
Yes.
Mr. Rosenberg.
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. The board is adjourned. Thank you all so very much.